a new live stream. Happy Easter Sunday, and I hope that you enjoy the holiday with the family. Hello, everyone. Wow, the chat box is full today since the start. Welcome, everyone. Yep, so Shafi, thank you for being here and thank you for your support. Yes, and Shafi is our moderator on Discord and on YouTube as well. Hello, KG. Happy to see you again. Happy to see you, Ted, as well. Thank you very much. And I hope that you enjoy the weekend. And Rassi, welcome. Aladdin as well. Arthurs, welcome. Hello, hello. And Danny is also here. Wow. Nice to see you guys. Nice to see you. Satkan, welcome. And Osbert, welcome everyone. Ivito, and yes, FET is definitely on the list, on the main list. Is this rocket today? Yeah, definitely it is on the main list. And Vitotas, welcome, happy Easter, thank you, man. And Jarek, welcome all of you guys. Nice to see new names as well. Leticia, welcome, happy Easter. MT, okay, guys, welcome. I hope that I didn't forget anyone. And welcome to the live stream. And let's start, of course, with the main list. Just let me tell you what is the main list for today. So basically, of course, we're gonna start a little bit with Bitcoin. FET, of course, is coming next, and the render, because those two rockets, which we are, we were waiting for it since months, and here we go. It is unfolding now, knowing that BTC is sideways, while those two are just rocketing. And of course, I hope that everyone who asked me this question, how it's gonna be rocket, how they will go higher while BTC is in a bear market. And here we go. Here is the answer, which is, I don't really know, guys, but this is Elliott wave. Okay, so we see a potential for FET and render while BTC is going sideways. And this is very, very normal for the market. Welcome, M. Happy Easter. Florian, hello, welcome. All right, so guys, let's see what's going on in Bitcoin first a little bit. So today we saw, of course, the analysis for the daily, but basically what is going on in this area is definitely a corrective wave. Nothing is yet impulsive, especially, okay, we see here kind of an impulse here, but this correction is too much long for a 1-2. In this case, that you would like to see a 1-2 here, you would like to see already an impulse toward the downside, which it should unfold 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 for wave 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, simply dropping down, right? The problem as well in this move here inside the 15-minute chart, you can see that you have only a zigzag. You have only 3 ways toward the downside rather than an impulse. Even on the most micro level, you still see, of course, 5 ways toward the downside, meaning nothing is impulsive, and this is an A, B, and a C extended wave towards the downside. And what does it mean? It can be definitely a wave E for a running triangle A, B, C, and a wave D, very long in time, and a wave E. Or even, well, I don't like it so much that the wave D, that it can be shorter than the wave E, but your wave E can be an expanding kind of flat. In case we get one more wave for 5 here, for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it is of course possible that you have an expanding flat here potentially, and you're moving continuously towards the upside. For me, right now, this can be the highest possibility until we break, of course, this triangle at 83K 129. If the price moves towards the 83K 129, the next target would be the following. It would be the 1-to-1 fib level, of course, taken from this area, which it can be a zigzag, of course, or it can be a regular flat as well, because of the wave B time, right? So 82K 287 can be, of course, a target again for an A, B, and a C, right? A, BNC. Now in Confluence, you have of course the retracement of this wave A here. In case you topped here or here, it doesn't matter so much. Yeah, it's almost the same target. So you would like to hit at least the 0.38. And as you can see, even this target is higher than the 0.38. However, if this of course happens and we move down, of course, to be testing this area level, and then of course we potentially still have a trend toward the upside. Otherwise, if we break this and we move for deeper, well, we have to start to consider this scenario, which is of course our ending diagonal. 1 second, here we go. Ending diagonal, which is of course a wave 2, starting from this top here. Your wave 2 is unfolding like, yeah, the wave 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5. Well, I don't really see it yet, yeah? So because, of course, of this long correction. And that's why I tend to be, of course, much more bullish than bearish. This is regarding Bitcoin and what to expect next. Also on the KGT, on the 3-minute chart, we have, of course, a bullish divergence here in the bottom. As you can see, we have the bullish signal, another bullish signal with the lows, and of course this one is lower than this one, which is creating kind of like divergence and potentially continuation a little bit toward the upside before we get, of course, our second bearish signal. And yep, so basically Bitcoin is still of course sideways while other altcoins are moving up, and that because of the dominance. Yeah, very important. Yesterday in the live stream also we mentioned the dominance, that it is of course, it has finished the top basically of a wave 5. And we might move toward the downside, of course, with the dominance after finishing here a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And for a wave 5, of course, in a bigger impulse. This is the whole bull run, right, for Bitcoin. And potentially we have topped and maybe we start to move toward the downside. On the local time, you can see, of course, a leading diagonal and a very clear leading diagonal. However, the wave 3 looks a little bit longer, but it's longer in time rather than in price, probably. Let me check. Wave 3 diagonal, yes, perfect target. So longer in time, but not in price. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 leading diagonal, and probably moving toward the downside. What does it mean? It means that altcoins have more advantage over Bitcoin right now to, of course, shift with the prices, and that means, of course, higher profits. What drops? Okay, that's my phone charger. Sorry, guys. And yeah, so it has higher potential, of course, for profits as altcoins than Bitcoin, right? When we see a drop with the Bitcoin dominance, right? All right, so, and let's start with the FET. So today we have FET render, Solana, XRP, TAO, SUI, Popcat, and your special request, guys. So before I start with FET, of course, I'm gonna start to write the special request one after the other. So let's see, we have Fathan, you still in virtual? Okay, let's okay, but preferably, as you know me, guys, I prefer always the trusted coin first, and then we take a look at the other. Okay, so don't be sad. That because of the healthiness of trading in this channel, and of course, I mean, I also prefer to not, how to say, encourage you to trade with a little bit untrusted coins. Okay, that is the idea also. Because of course, yeah, we saw Mantra, yeah, the last week, and we saw some catastrophe, right, in the market for OM Mantra. Okay, so what do we have? ARB STRK. Okay, ARB STRK. Daniel. Okay. What do we have else? Let's see. Okay, Atom. All right, Atom is on the list. All right, let's start, guys. And Psy. Okay, you said Psy also. Okay. All right, so FET, what is going on with FET, right? Crazy price action for FET. We see, of course, higher prices as expected already. On this channel, we expected, of course, that we move for higher. The count is the following right now that we have finished a 1-2. We have potentially here a finished wave 1. You have a wave 2. You're looking at the wave 3, 4, and a 5 of a wave 3 potentially. The target for FET are, of course, first the 1-to-1 fib level. The 1-to-1 fib level, of course, is an A, B, and a C. And in this case scenario, of course, this is a correction in case we hit only the 1-to-1 fib level and we start to retrace massively. Otherwise, you would like to hit, of course, or to get a wave 4 here, but basically you would like even to overshoot. You would like to overshoot to the 1.618, but basically I'm talking here about the 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 of the wave 3. Okay, so the 1-to-1 fib level will retrace definitely, and this retracement, basically it will represent the wave 4 of your wave 3, and then of course moving toward the upside for a wave 5 to finish a wave 3, which is at 1.61 fib level, 0.91. And of course we might see this price getting easier and very fast. Now, we had this debate on Discord how to enter FET right now. Well, I mentioned this for the members. Of course, if you want to enter such a trade, of course, that is two ways. No financial advice, of course, but that is two ways. The first way is that you need, of course, to wait for a retracement, which it might not happen sometimes. It just moves toward the upside. It means you simply lose the trade and you miss the entry. Or the second strategy is to enter the market, but you should have a strategy, right? A plan and strategy, meaning your risk management should be very, very effective. And of course that you have to, see it for the future in case it reverses you. Yeah. So this is, yeah. And okay, so you would tell me how we enter this, and you should have entered, of course, in the blue box of opportunity, and that's why I was aiming at it, of course, on this channel, of course, since a month, and I was saying, of course, whatever is gonna happen here is gonna move toward the upside. Therefore, the best way, of course, is always to be in the beginning, right, with a wave 1, for example, wave 2, and then moving toward the upside. Now, if let's say you enter somewhere here and then it moves downward, well, okay, with risk management as well, you still can handle this, right? I mean, it depends if you can take this loss or not and hold it until it reverses, for example. Yeah, so these are the scenarios. It depends on your risk management, and that's why, of course, whatever is gonna happen, it's gonna move toward the upside. If you took this trade from the beginning, of course, therefore you feel very comfortable. Whatever is gonna happen in the top, the signal that you will get for a drop again, you can take out your profit before this time, right? So this is the point. I'm just telling you guys, it's an example because this is the first time for the channel since it has not been a year even yet. I'm telling you this because, of course, we're gonna see this several times in several videos in the future, and of course, I'm telling you here to also understand what do I mean when I say, of course, box of opportunity. And yep, so what is next for FET and what it might be the scenario? So are we bullish? Are we moving towards the upside totally, like for a new all-time high? This is what I mean. Or are we just corrective? As you can see, that there are two scenarios, right? There is a correction, continuation toward the downside, and there is, of course, a continuation toward the upside. Meaning there is definitely a crossroad in this area somewhere, of course, to move towards the down before moving towards the downside. Now, what is exactly the potential of? Let's put it on the daily. What is the potential of the target here? Here we go. If we have a retracement here, let's say we are bearish. This is the scariest, right? This is the scariest scenario. And if you are bullish or you want to enter or whatever you want to do, the scariest scenario right now, the fear, is to move toward the downside. Let's study the scenario. So basically, we have finished here a structure. Definitely, we have finished a structure. After looking here inside it, okay, we saw, of course, a W, X, and a Y finished, and we see this move impulsively toward the upside as, of course, confirmation of a finished structure. Once you finished a structure here, you're looking, of course, for a new structure. This new structure is going to be 3 waves up or an impulse, right? Impulse is meaning, of course, taking the all-time high. 3 waves up meaning correction and moving towards the downside. If we get, of course, those 3 waves, minimum target is 0.38. 0.38 meaning 0.85. Which is, of course, in confluence, if we move right now in the 2-hour chart, in confluence with our target, here we go, right, for a wave 3. And that means if we get a 1, 2, and then 3 in this area, of course, anyway, the wave 3 is a perfect target, of course, to take your profit normally. If you get, of course, wave 4 after it, and then wave 5, then okay, you can maybe trade this. Of course, no financial advice, but you have to still figure it out that, of course, you finished an impulse and that it might move toward the downside, whether a wave 2 or a wave B. But once you finish an impulse with a wave 5, this is like a 90% confirmation that the trend is toward the upside. And this is a key element here for this successful trade, right? You want to see a finished impulse, 5 waves up. And if you get the 3 waves down, this might be your wave B or your wave 2, meaning a new test is going to be taken later on, after a wave C or a wave 3, meaning even higher. At the 1-to-1 fib level taken from this big zigzag, which is still inside, of course, the perfect fib level for wave B, of course, you have to take care from here, this level, because it is a new crossroad, right? Which is the red line that you see here. Yeah. So that's why, of course, you have to be careful step by step, and you have to walk with, of course, the price action step by step. If someone tells you you should not look at the trade, of course, or at the chart, of course, not so much, but you still have to always analyze the price action, guys. Even sometimes it is necessary, of course, to watch it a little bit, 15-minute chart, 15-minute on the 15-minute chart, for example. Yeah, just to see the reaction. You can get some answers sometimes inside it. Yeah. So basically, right now, if we move, for example, inside the 15-minute chart, you can see that this is still potential corrective, right? And you still have a potential to move toward the upside. Yep. So basically, I'm still looking for higher, still for FET onto the blue box. And then we see, of course, the reaction there. But basically, even you have to be careful from the 1-to-1 fib level, because if you finish 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for example, here, you might finish a zigzag. Yeah. So also very potential of a corrective wave. And that's why you still need to watch the price action, right? Okay, so FET, I believe it is, of course, very bullish, but of course, guys, step by step and level by level, and we're gonna take it, of course, from there right now, okay, to the 1-to-1 fib level, and we see, of course, what's gonna happen after it. Yep, so these are the potential scenarios for FET. The target is 0.69, first target, second target is 0.98, 91. So, yeah, welcome MG. Welcome to the live stream. All right, so that was for FET. When we started FET, actually, I forgot even. I think we started on Bitcoin at yeah, the 15-minute, I think so. I can take a look later. Okay, and right now we are at the 29, meaning of course we are here, 22. All right, so render, let's see render, and long FET. Yeah, what do you mean, Abudi? Welcome to the live stream first, bro. What do you mean with and long FET? Let's do render. So 30. Hello, all. Welcome to the live stream, bro. Yes, BGB. We're gonna do BGB also. Very interesting. BGB, one of the trusted coins as BGB. Here we go. All right, guys. So basically, what we are looking at right now is render. Let's see. This is our render. Render is also the same like FET. We were looking for this box of opportunity, and here we go. It has exploded toward the upside. Now, of course, render can be of course possibly finished right now with a wave 5, yeah, because this wave 5 should be 5 waves up. As I said and I mentioned before, of course, your target as a wave 5 might hit the 0.618, taken of course from this wave 1 to the 3. And basically, I don't see really 0.618 yet, but basically I see that you have finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 5. I'm gonna make sure, of course, inside the price action, but basically we finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a wave 1. You are looking for a wave 2 next. After hitting 0.23 only, yeah. So because we hit and only 0.23, meaning this corrective wave is a wave 4 and not a wave 2. Your wave 2 has to hit at least the 0.38 fib level. Okay? And in this case scenario, you're looking, of course, for a wave 5, much higher potential. Now, why we have finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not 1, 2, 1, 2, for example, because, of course, this wave did not reach the bottom of, or did not interfere with the zone 1. And that means, of course, you don't have double 1, 2, much higher potential. Here is your wave 3 and an extended wave 5. Now, if we take a closer look inside this wave 5, you will see a very tricky price action also here for this impulse, where you can see, of course, several moves to the upside. Now, how we can read this, right? Now, basically, you have a wave 1 here. You have to take it as a wave 1. You have like a tiny wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 for wave 1 here. And then wave 2, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, wave 3, wave 4, and you got, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So be careful. Potentially, it can be finished wave 5, especially after this massive drop, which it looks like an impulse, right? If this is an impulse, which there is no other thing here on the 15-minute chart, so if you move in the 5-minute, definitely this is an impulse. It can be that you have here an A, B, and a C. Your wave C is an ending diagonal for a wave 2, meaning you are in a formation of 1, 2, potentially 3, 4, 5, or A, B, and a C zigzag. Yep. So basically, I would say, of course, I mean, if there is a potential of a wave 5 still, if you take a look at this wave 4, so let's say this is your wave 2 here, and this is your wave 4. Now, regarding the time, they look really good as alternation, I think. So if you take the time of a wave 2 here, based on the wave 3, and let's set wave 4 over 2, well, even, it has passed almost the double time, but this is what wave 4 usually should be, right? So there is a potential that this is a wave 4, so be careful as well with it. That means you might have still one more wave 5, okay, in case you still see higher prices. And in that case scenario, if a wave 5 happens, definitely you're gonna move towards the downside again. So that could be, of course, your wave 2, right? your wave 2 basically is gonna be very deep, guys. So let's clean up a little bit for render to see a little bit much clearer prices. Okay, ABC, we can remove it, and this gray, we can remove it. We can add this as a gray now. Here we go. And currently we're looking for a wave 1. Yeah, at a wave 1 potentially finished. Of course, don't forget, maybe you still can get one wave 5. And we're looking for the next impulse, right? Which it should be a wave 1. Yeah, here, wave 1, 2, and then 3, right? So basically, I would say as well, we are looking right now for a wave 2. The wave 2 is the following target. Here we go. Our target for a wave 2 is the minimum requirement is 0.38. But guys, never forget the time required for a wave 2. Okay, because the wave 2 sometimes can be very fast, and it can tell you that it's not ready yet. Yeah, and then you take the trade toward the upside, and then it moves even much more lower. So be careful. The time is very essential. Potentially, we're starting to look inside this box. Okay, for the next price action. Here we go. For a wave 2, between the 3.58 and the $3.1. Yeah, it is very possible. Plus, you need to see a structure 3 waves toward the downside, and then of course continuation for higher. Yep, so these are basically the scenarios for render. Let me clean up a little bit. It's too much. I don't like to see so many stuff. Okay, we can remove the time since we get the blue box. Wave Y, and yeah, we're gonna keep this blue box here, which is still the box of opportunity in case we come back. In case we come back here, yeah, it's still very possible that we get a new chance, guys, to move towards the upside. And that because, of course, if you come back to this area, it is very possible that you have, well, here it's hard to say even an impulse because you have 3 ways down. But let's say that can be 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Is it possible? Well, can be. And then 3 ways toward the upside and then moving down. Yeah. But basically, it cannot really be a very high potential just because of this wave 1. But if you take a look inside it, you see like 1, 2, 3, 4, but invalidation as well. So I cannot take this only as an expanding diagonal, which is the most rare case scenario. But at the end, it has a potential, right? So we give it like 5 to 10%, right? You cannot just totally say it's 0. Yeah, so these are the potentials for render. Higher possibility is, of course, to move maybe directly towards this blue box or one more wave up and then towards this blue box for render. Yep, so MD, hello, I'm good, man, thank you. SUI is already on the list, main list. SUI, here we go. Yep, we're gonna do SUI. And welcome to the live stream. All right, can down because, okay, I am hold by selling. Okay, sorry, bro. We don't want to know about your trades. Always trade safe, of course. And I'm sorry if you're facing any troubles with your trading, but be careful. Always trade safe. This is what the channel is about. You have to, of course, try to understand much more Elliott wave, and I would be glad to, of course, always educate with Elliott wave on this channel, guys. So sorry to hear about if you're struggling, man. But basically, of course, I mean, you can learn a lot from this channel. You can also join our Discord. You can get much more closer to Elliott wave and to the market prediction. We have also we can help also with copy trades and so on. Of course, I don't promise with any profits, but of course you can find also a lot of copy trades, which it can let you understand basically how the trading should be. This is what. Yep. So SUI is on the main list. Thank you, Shafia. Khalid, chain link. All right, nice choice. Let's put a link under virtual because Sat can't get angry always about virtual. If you hear us, Sat Khan, confirm it. All right, so basically, render, we are done. We are looking for this blue box. Let's take a look at Solana. 40 minutes. All right, at 40. All right, so what we're looking at Solana is, today I took a sneak peek as well on Solana. We see of course a potential wave 5. So basically, it's not necessarily to go back to the main scenario. We are in a wave A. Yeah. What I mean with the main scenario is the overview. We are in a wave A here, right? And it is an impulse wave, which it can be as well a W, X, and a Y, or it can be an impulsive wave, right? Where you see a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, but your wave 5 here is problematic. You didn't finish a diagonal. You started like a diagonal, but this wave just got invalidation. And basically, it gave a much higher potential that we bottomed with the wave Y in this case, and you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 currently toward the upside. Right, so on the 2 hours chart, we are looking at 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for your wave 3, 1.618 hit perfectly. We're looking at a nice correction for the wave 4 without invalidation of course, this impulse. And we're looking here at 1, 2 potentially, and then 3, 4, and a 5. Very sideways 4, I know, and a 5 potentially finished as well. So be careful because you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a wave 5 after a sideways correction, which is your wave 4. Sometimes you have to think logic, guys, just simply logic as well, even if you're looking at a 2 hours and not on 15-minute chart. You can decode, of course, a chart just by looking at it, of course, and taking it logically. If you got, of course, an impulse here, you can see, of course, a move toward the upside. This is the most impulsive wave, meaning it's your wave 3. If you see a sideways after it, meaning this is your wave 4, because it's not possible, of course, to get a wave 2 sideways like this. And of course, you saw an impulse, which is your wave 5. Okay, so even sometimes it's not really necessarily to move inside, inside it very clearly. So what we're looking here at, now it is time to look at it clearly, right? Because we don't see what's going on inside here. So now it is time to move in the 15-minute chart, and here we go. We see some kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4 invalidation. Okay, then we got a very fast move, a wick, again invalidation. Nothing is impulsive because you got invalidation here, then move for wave 3. Let's say this was your wave 1, 2. And then 3, then you got a wick to invalidate everything, and then moving again toward the downside. And that means, of course, definitely this is kind of an A, B, and a C toward the downside. You're looking at potentially can still move toward the upside for a corrective wave, and then continuation, of course, for even lower. And as you can see, 3 waves up here. Oh, by the way, you got your 3 waves up short here. Rather than getting bigger 3 waves, potentially you got your 3 waves up here, and you'll continue toward the downside. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Now this is a clear impulse, okay? Meaning you finish an A, B, and a C. Potentially you're moving kind of like in a zigzag. Basically it's still looking for lower, and that's normal since we have seen a top potentially. Our target for a wave 2, well, that was virtual, because we didn't know where we're gonna top. So now we know where we topped. So let's take it there. Let's say this is your wave 2 potentially. It's gonna be there, and let's take a time taken from the start to here. So yeah, basically this is what I'm looking for here. Let's take it a little bit bigger. Here we go. Yep. Here we go. This is our blue box between the 110, 121. So what does it mean? I would like to see 3 waves moving towards the downside. okay, inside this blue box, hitting this blue box in 3 ways: finish structure, and then of course continuation towards the upside. If we still see, of course, one more leg toward the upside here before we move down, always think about it, guys. Always think about it. It is very possible, for example, what if it's gonna move, let's say, let me check. Yes, as you can see, this price action took this, yeah? And that means, of course, if you are in a wave 1, 2 here, if, let's say, which is a very low possibility, if you are in 1, 2, 3, 4, you would like to see one more single move towards the upside as a 5. But be careful, this wave 5 should not be very long. Yeah, so it's gonna be something like this to finish kind of a diagonal. Very low possibility even to see higher price as an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because you already got invalidation. Meaning definitely we're moving down, we're looking for a correction. It can be here 3 waves down, 3 waves up, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Okay? But always just as, how to say, just as a risk management. Always think, what if we get, for example, one more leg toward the upside? Can I handle such a loss? Can I make it up? Can I, if you enter here, can I make my trade higher again, for example? Yeah, these are what I mean with it. Okay, so Solana still looking right now for higher. I cannot say Solana is bearish right now. I mean, in the short term. In a bigger overview, we are in a bear market. We are in a big A, B, and a C. But what we are looking at for is the following: A, B, and a C. Yeah, this is what we are looking for. I'm looking for a wave B right now or a wave 2, right? This wave B can be the 0.38 or the 0.5, preferably as a zigzag. Now, this is the most preferable target for a wave B in a zigzag, 0.5, 116, and moving toward the upside for a wave C. All right, so these are the potentials for Solana. What is next? Next, we have XRP. So let's move for XRP at 47. All right, XRP. So XRP USD. Okay, XRP is is just hanging around. All right, so for XRP, you know, we are already in a big impulse, right? On the daily 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, right? We're looking for a wave 5 after a very long sideways wave 4, which is W, X, potentially wave Y, and now you start to unfold, of course, a wave 5 potentially toward the upside. Now, if we move inside it, inside this wave, which it might supposed to be a wave 5, which is still has a potential, and that because, of course, XRP love sideways, and I think XRP feels like so comfortable when we come to a wave 4 or a wave 2. Because wave 4 normally should be sideways, and I feel like yeah, XRP is he feels relief. Yeah, finally I get a sideways. Yeah, and it goes for a long time, of course, to unfold the wave 5. So here we go, and potentially you have a 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5. Okay, your wave 4 definitely, of course, has passed the double time for a wave 2, definitely. Even I would say 3 and close to the 4th time, but very normal for XRP, and that's why I was mentioned this lazy fat boy here. Yeah. And basically you have 3 waves toward the downside, and we're still looking for sideways. What does it mean, guys? W, X, and a Y, right? W, X in a triangle potentially here, or another flat for the X, and you're looking for a wave Y. So yeah, very ugly structure. So potentially I'm still looking for this, definitely. I'm still looking definitely for a 1-to-1 fib level taken from, what is that? From which bottom exactly? Okay, this one. I would like to readjust this one just to make sure. So let's take the highest point just to make it safer. Okay, here we go. This is the safest. If this happens, by the way, if this happens, don't forget the invalidation of the impulse. Yeah, meaning if XRP move towards the $2, exactly $2. I mean, what a coincidence, right? $2 to be an invalidation. And that means, of course, it's gonna be hit. So normally it can be hit because if it is a psychological number, it can be a lot of entries here. Okay, a lot of entries here, and that means, of course, it can unfold something. It's not necessarily to be a wave 5. Okay, meaning if you take the invalidation here, you might see higher prices after an A, B, and a C, but not a wave 5. This is the answer what it gives us, if in case, of course, we invalidate. Yeah. So don't forget that we might be in an A. Let's put this scenario A, B, and a C as well. Okay. What is the wave 4, by the way? This wave 4 should be here. Okay. Potentially this what? Yeah. Mohammed, can you do WLD? Okay. I don't know what is it, but let's put it there. WLD. It sounds wild. Wild coin. Okay. Right. So that was for XRP. This is the main key element, guys, for XRP. Basically, we're looking at a main wave 5, but this invalidation, if we take it, so in a bigger overview again, what does it say? If we are not in a wave 5 and we are in a wave C, it doesn't mean that you are gonna continue towards the upside. It means that you're looking for another corrective wave, which it's not gonna take the all-time high, even if it moves higher. It's gonna trick you, just a trap, right? And when you see, of course, such a wave, what does it mean? Obviously, XRP typical, extending the triangle A, B, C, D, and E. And then start thinking about wave 5 again. Unbelievable for XRP. How much sideways? He's a sideways lover, right? But the problem, I mean, the good thing with XRP is that when it's unfold toward the upside, it is massive and explosive. But you have to get a very long breath, you know, with XRP. This is the issue. If you don't have patience for it, so yeah, forget about it. Try to trade something maybe much more volatile. It can be much more even safer for you. All right. So let's see what is next after XRP. TAO. Yeah. Bit and soar at 53. Okay. So TAO. Ooh. Okay. I didn't take a look at this guy today. Wow. Still continuing. Nice. All right. So, okay, we passed even. Is this taken from the wave 1? Well, yeah, very, very. Okay, we're very close to the 1-to-1 fib level. Very nice. Okay, so, and what does it mean right now for TAO? Basically, in TAO, in a bigger view, just as a quick reminder for TAO, I'm not gonna move in it so deep, but in a bigger view, you're looking potentially at W, X, and a Y here. You're looking for this 1-to-1 fib level, and maybe here you're looking at A, 3 ways down, B, and you potentially looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 as an ending diagonal. Yeah, so this is what we. Oh, sorry. We were looking here at this ending diagonal potentially. Yes. Okay. At the wave 1, and then 2 here, and then 3, 4, 5. But basically, if we move to the 1-to-1 fib level, that is far from reality to happen. Meaning W, X, and a Y, which is the second scenario, get, of course, higher potential here. The problem is only that we took the 886 here and we don't have a 1-2 really. It might be, of course, something else. So we have to consider a wave 2 of an ending diagonal. When you take the 886 for a wave 2 here, after, of course, an impulse, you're looking potentially at an ending diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 to finish, of course, an A, B, and a C toward the upside. Yeah, to hit the 1-to-1 fib level at $900 for TAO. Very, very big potential that it might happen. Now, of course, as per Elliott wave, the 886 touching it is not 100% invalidation of an impulse. Sometimes it can be. Based on the rules, it is not. The rules of Elliott wave in an impulse when you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Since the wave 2 here is higher than the bottom, higher, even if it touched the 886, it's still valid impulse. Can be. However, as a guideline, when you touch the 886, it is very, very low possibility to create an impulse. Okay? This is the idea about the impulse. Now, as you can see, of course, this wave here has started to get something very, very intense toward the upside. Yeah, if we're gonna reach this 1-to-1 fib level, I believe even we're gonna break the bigger ending diagonal. So my scenario was like an A, B, and a C as well, a bigger ending diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Now, if this wave 4 breaks this trend, meaning break it toward the upside, this wave 4 might start to be longer than the wave 2 as a 1-2. Yeah, it's not allowed, yeah, to finish an ending diagonal, and that means, of course, it can break this rule. So if I want to check where is exactly the invalidation, because that could be an answer that we're not looking for lower anymore. Okay, this is the 1-to-1 fib level, meaning at 349. Okay, meaning at 349, guys, invalidation of the last possibility of taking the low. How much beautiful. Just by the single fib at a precise level, it tells you it's not possible to take this low anymore. Of course, it can move toward the downside. Of course, it can range, but definitely it's gonna move for higher. Soon or later, you will never take this low again. In case only that you take this price. If we move inside it, we see, of course, the following. Let me put this here and turn on all of it. Here we go. Ooh, wow. This is exactly what I wanted. You saw the magic, guys. I did nothing. It was off. Everything was off, and you saw the magic and the confluence between the 1-to-1 fib level taken from this ABC, which is this one, and the just that I just laid down as a wave 4 invalidation of ending diagonal. How much beautiful the confluence it is. 349, 349. Both have the same price, of course, for invalidation and as a target. And that means, of course, a very high possibility that you got the invalidation of taking the low. You're looking for higher. Even if you retrace here 3 waves, you're going to continue soon or later. You're moving towards the 1.618 for a wave 3. 4 and a 5. Okay, so this is the magic of Elliott wave. Right. Basically, this is my target first for TAO, $350 or 49, and of course, to be reanalyzed after it. Do we get 3 waves? Potentially, we're gonna get. All right, so KG, on TAO, I noticed head and shoulder shape on NSI for 4-hour time frame. Do you think it can be a signal for the start of wave 2? Just wanted to share. Not sure if it is correct. Well, head and shoulders and on RSI. Okay, RSI. Let's check this. This one. Okay. Well, I mean, it can be, yeah, but I mean, I don't know if even you can take those shapes on RSI as well. I don't know if it is applicable. To be honest, I don't pretend that I know this. Yeah, I never get into this, to be honest. Like, are those patterns applicable on RSI or only on the price? Here is the question. Let's, yeah, you can ask ChatGPT maybe. He's smarter than me with this. Alexa, welcome. Welcome to the live stream. Nice to see you here. And you are the most welcome. Happy Easter. 4 time frames. Okay, it doesn't have it. I think it shows both. Okay, I think they show both the 1 hour and the 4 hour, Danny. RSI. This is the 1 hour. You see the head and shoulder, and the 4 hour chart. You see, what is it? On the RSI, there is no head and shoulder. Or do you mean the price action? Maybe. Okay, if you mean this in the price action, well, it doesn't look a perfect head and shoulders. Yeah, you have a shoulder bigger than the other. Yeah, it doesn't look normal, right? So I don't suggest this, and I never look at these patterns, guys. I just take Elliott wave as principle. All right, so let's move next. Popcat, yes, Popcat is on the list. Always is on the list. As you can see, Popcat is coming next. Right now, we're gonna do SUI, and we are at the 1 hour, 1 minute. Okay, for SUI. Okay, SUI. All right. Yeah. He's not performing the same like the others, like FET or Render. He's a side of TAO, right? They are in the same group, TAO and SUI right now. Render and FET, I would say they are in one group with Injective as well. Well, Injective is not really performing, but we were looking at the same potential scenario. Now, in SUI, we see, of course, a potential of ABC toward the upside, A, B, and a C, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 potentially, and we're looking right now for lower, and obviously that this looks like an impulse. Yeah, invalidation of bullish already given, so we cannot say that we are in bullish scenario. And if we are looking at a leading diagonal as a wave 1, let me check, potentially it still can have, well, it still can have a potential, yeah. So we can take it as leading diagonal. Let me put this to the left. All right, let's remove this one. Okay, perfectly hit for a wave 3. So basically, I can put the signal of a leading diagonal potentially. Here we go. Wave 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Now let's check the wave 5. Here is the question mark. Do we have a longer wave 5? Hopefully not. It took a lot of time to lay down those fib levels. All right, yes. Perfect. So no invalidation given. And that means, of course, we're still safe for a leading diagonal. So we still can call it a wave 1. Potentially, you can call it a wave 1. 1, and you're looking for 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna see. If this is a case scenario, you're looking for a wave 2 impulsively, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And that opens the question mark, right? If we are in an impulse toward the downside, and that means you did not finish a wave A yet. And if you did not finish a wave A, that means you're looking for ABC. So, okay, if a wave C is gonna be also impulsive, and you already got a very deep impulse. and that meaning 1, 2, yeah, is hard to call, right? And here where the possibilities start to be shaken for the bullish, right? Unless you have an A, B, and a C, okay? But this A should be like an A, B, and a C. How we make sure we get inside it, right? We get inside it to check. On the lower time frame, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, obviously leading diagonal. And when you see a leading diagonal for a wave 1 here, definitely this is an impulse, guys. 1, 2, and then you're looking here 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Yeah, your wave 5 also is impulsive. Obviously looking ugly, but yeah, still can be even an ending diagonal here. And then you have a ABC potentially toward the upside. Now, very, very, of course, corrective structure. You have ABC for W, X, and a Y, definitely. Yeah. And then you're looking again impulsively. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Potential formation of wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Okay, so basically, I would say you can also call it, for example, you still 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5? No, it's not possible. I'm just trying to run away from the bearish. But if there is no option, then of course we have to say it is bearish. So I'm just trying, guys, first. What if we finished here? Still longer. So yeah, no way, guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. You're looking for a wave 5, and potentially this is gonna be an impulse, right? And then moving towards downside. Now the only possible scenario is that you consider a leading diagonal as a wave A here. Normally, when you have a leading diagonal, 75% goes for a wave 1 in an impulse, in a leading diagonal. 25% goes in a wave A for a zigzag. And what do I mean? That zigzags normally loves to have always as a wave A an impulse, correction, impulse, rather than a leading diagonal. This guy here as a leading diagonal loves to be, of course, a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Okay, and that's why, of course, higher potential here because of a leading diagonal goes for a wave 1 rather than an A, B, and a C finished. And if you have finished A, B, and a C, you're looking for a wave B, and you're still looking for a wave C towards the downside, which is gonna be very, very deep, and which is, of course, putting this low into danger, right? So basically, this is what I see for SUI. And what I mean here, guys, that, yeah, I see much more bearish scenario rather than bullish for SUI. What is the scenario? Which is already given, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 finished. You're looking for a wave 5. And that's why you are looking to take the low in a zigzag. Potentially, you can finish this zigzag A, B, and C simply taking the low. Just taking the low, even with a few cents, it doesn't matter. It's going to take the low. And by the way, we already have our blue box, which is untouched yet. And that is why it's still there, right? I'm still looking for this blue box. That was for SUI. Popcat. Popcat at 1 hour, 8 minutes. Absolutely true. Thank you, man. You mean sideways lover? Yeah, XRP. Yeah, yeah. Al. Yeah, Al is a fat boy. I call it a fat boy. He just stays sideways, but when it is impulsive and bullish, yeah, you should have the seatbelt on. Yeah, it never stops. This is the thing. He's a giant. Right. So we were at Popcat. So for Popcat, we were looking for, of course, whatever is gonna happen in this blue box. It's a box of opportunity, and we're moving to the upside, right? And of course, here we go. We see, of course, an impulse, and currently the estimation is in this area. This is a wave 2 after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Or are we looking at A, B, and a C? What are the scenarios in both cases? So basically, we finished W, X, and a Y. And we're looking for 3 waves in all-time history. And that means, of course, 3 waves up, 3 waves down. Definitely, we would like to see a wave C, which should be an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or we're looking for a wave Y, which is, of course, W, X, and a Y in a bigger view, 3 waves up, 3 waves down, 3 waves up, right? Meaning zigzag, flat, triangle, what else? W, X, and a Y in a very, very low possibility, because I don't like to see, of course, W, X, Y in a wave Y. But you have a lot of possibilities, right, guys? We have a lot of possibilities for this wave Y. And that's why I always think about different scenarios. So let's move inside it to read the price. So inside this price, of course, we labeled first, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, extended wave 5. That's very true. We have a wave 1 potentially, or a wave A. Why I don't have the scenario for a wave A? Sometimes even I forget the things, you see. So wave A or a wave 1, around, here we go. And in this case scenario, well, I don't like the magenta. Let's put it in blue because it is bullish. Here we go. So we have A, B, and a C. Obviously, it is a very sideways corrective wave. And when you see this, definitely you goes into a wave B. Why? Because we never touch the 0.38 fib level yet, which is the minimum requirement. Plus, I was looking to hit at least the 1-to-1 fib level after 3 waves down, 3 waves up, and then of course 5 waves down. Meaning this 5 waves down should hit the 1-to-1 fib level. And you would like to have at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or an ending diagonal. But obviously this will not happen. What I see right now is a potential, of course, a W, X, and a Y. Your wave Y can be as well a triangle. Yeah, so potentially, and let me check here as well, A, B, and a C, or A, B, and a C. Yeah. And this is going very triangle, A, B, C, D, and a E, very, okay. Guys, whatever is gonna happen, it is very, very corrective. The trend is toward the upside right now because you got an impulse for higher. The impulse always tells you the direction of the trend. Now, currently, since you got an impulse towards the upside, meaning the trend is for higher. If you get a correction after this trend, simply you want to see continuation toward the upside. And this is exactly what's going on in Bitcoin right now. The trend is toward the upside. You got an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 potentially, or you have a leading diagonal, right? Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. The wave 4 is here, not here. This is a wave 4 of the wave 3 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, right? Wave 3, 4, and a 5. Meaning the trend right now is toward the upside. Very simple and logic thinking. After this, you got a correction sideways. And that means whatever is going to happen, whether you take an ABC, whether you take a triangle sideways, you're going to move toward the upside. But I start to get used, of course, when I see a lot of sideways, I forget about, of course, taking the low. Because remember, with Elliott wave, when you go sideways, going sideways, it means you're going in time. You're paying in time. You're paying from your time, right? And you know, market is about suffering. Yeah, is to get paid after getting suffered. I know it sounds crazy a little bit, this concept, but this is the reality. Whether you pay with time or you pay with losses, one of these scenarios. Yeah, if you pay with time, okay, you're gonna wait until you move for the gains. This is the idea of how I explain this. Yeah, so for me, for example, if you are in a trade here or in move towards the upside and you're still sideways, it's gonna let you pay time. Yeah, if you're not losing from your portfolio, it's gonna let you lose from your time. This is the idea. All right, so basically, Popcat still very bullish, very corrective, and we're still looking for higher. Definitely, this is invalidation of bearish. Why? I think this is a very old scenario. It's time to remove it. Isn't it? Yes, it's already invalidated because I'm telling you what, this was, I'm looking if this wave 4 is going to interfere with the zone 1. After having a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, obviously it's already invalidated. Yeah, so. Shafi, yes, great explanation. Well, this is how I see market. Yeah, this is after years, guys, with the markets. So you start to to integrate it in your daily life. Yeah, so it's about suffering. I mean, why do you think you love even trading, even when you are in loss? Sometimes it is the suffering, the adrenaline that inside you, that it excites you, of course, to see the price to move towards the upside, to see yourself in gains later, because it gives you satisfaction, right? There is no satisfaction if you don't suffer before. This is psychology, guys, of trading. But yeah, this is the thing. All right, so this is the idea of course, is a sideways, and we gonna move for higher sooner or later. But it gives me here the potential of a wave B rather than a wave 2, because we did not reach the 0.38. You reached only the 0.23, which is tending to be much more a wave B rather than a wave 2. In a wave B, of course, you're moving for a wave C, and that means a 3-wave corrective. Now, in a bigger view, again, always go back to a bigger view, what it might be the scenario. If we get 3 corrective waves, that is definitely a move towards the downside in both case scenarios. In both case scenarios, whether you are bullish or you are bearish. What does it mean? It means if you are bearish, you will continue towards the downside for a new low. Be careful, can be. If you get 3 waves down, you might continue for a wave C towards the upside. A, B, and a C in a flat for a wave Y. Okay, or don't forget our scenarios triangle, or a simple flat like this, or it can be a zigzag. Yeah, but a zigzag, you would like to see, of course, higher, a little bit higher prices. Yeah, or even you would like to see a wave 1, 2 here. Okay, so the zigzag, I know that we started with an impulse. It can be a small zigzag, but I would like to see a zigzag taking the all-time high, not just a small one, right? Yeah, so to see a big zigzag, you would like to see a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, A, B, C for a wave B, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Currently, this correction, it says from now, no, this scenario is not gonna unfold. How much beautiful when you get such answer for the future. Yeah. This is the idea for a Popcat on Elliott wave. All right, so Ethereum. Let's do Ethereum and start with the special request. But before doing so, let me also add the time. Yep, so these are the possibilities, guys. Yeah, I would like also to mention, if you would like to have a much more Elliott wave insights and much more educative stuff, you can enter into our Discord. And of course, our community is a private community, safe from scammers and spammers. And of course, you can get a direct interaction with me if in case you have questions or special requests. I would be glad to offer it, guys. All right, so let's start with the special request for Ethereum. Here we go, Ethereum. Let's see this lazy guy. What is he doing? Is he still dumping? Yeah, not really. Okay, Invalidation of bearish, not taken yet, guys. Very simply. 1, 2, 3, you're still looking for a wave 4, and you're still looking for a wave 5 toward the downside. And then Mohammed, what happened to Popcat is still bullish? Yes, it's still. We just did it. You can go back to the live stream if you missed this, of course. We are in Ethereum right now. And we're looking, of course, at a sideways movement here, A, B, C, D, and an E. Actually, I see this whole thing together right now. And I see it as a 1, 2, 3, of course, A, B, C, D, and an E for a wave 4. Here we go. Let's remove the A, B, C. And let's add in an A, B, C, D, and an E. Here we go. So basically, this what is a wave 4 right now, very big triangle, and potentially you're still looking for lower. Because after an A, B, C, D, and an E, your wave E, by the way, should be a zigzag, in a triangle, should be a zigzag. And potentially you can still look for higher, or it can be finished, and now it is your wave 2. So if we move inside it, you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Obviously, you start with your wave 1 of your wave 5. Here we go. What an answer. Right? So you are looking right now at the wave 5 unfolding for a wave Y, for a wave C here. And I'm going to show you what does it mean in a bigger view. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 has started to unfold, guys. 1 to 1 Fib level, target 1,300 expected already. We have ABC potentially finished here, and you have, of course, a sideways for a wave B, meaning A, B. You're looking here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Yeah, and this is, of course, an ending diagonal for a wave C as a first scenario. Second scenario, why I am on the 1 hour chart. Let's go to the 2 hour chart. We are in W, X, and a Y. This wave Y might be, of course, your zigzag, which is an impulse finished as a wave A. You got your wave B, and currently you are in this impulse, which has highest potential right now, unfolding wave 5 towards the downside, finishing a wave Y, finishing the whole structure, and you can start to think to be bullish on. Why? Why to think in bullish? Because Ethereum, here we go. What is the possibility of triangle? Here we go. How much precise this is if we get simply one more leg before taking the low here, which is your wave 5, which is gonna finish this structure, which is gonna finish a wave B, C in a triangle, A, B, C, D, and a E. You're looking for a wave D, which is short-term bullish, I would say. But also don't forget the opposite scenario, W, X, and a Y after a wave 1. Let's go a little bit bigger. You are in 1, 2, 1, 2. Your wave 2 is a W, X, and a Y. Your wave Y is an expanding or 3 structural waves. Here we go. You have 3 waves down, 3 waves up, 3 waves down. This structure is going to finish this bigger 3-wave structure, which is a wave Y, in confluence with this blue box as well, and in confluence with this triangle. Then higher potential, therefore, to move towards the upside. In this scenario, you're looking for a wave 3. But in this scenario, which is a triangle, you're looking for a wave D. But what does it say in this area after taking this low? We're moving towards the upside in both case scenarios, right? In all case scenarios. Meaning this is a box of opportunity for Ethereum, guys. I sound crazy, I know, that I am bullish on Ethereum right now. Because Ethereum is dying since a long time ago, but actually, again, the suffering scenario, right, for Ethereum, it's not dying. It's just that this is market, this is trading. It's gonna move in sideways potentially, or because you paid a lot of time, you're gonna move towards the upside. You already paid in time, right? So it's time, of course, to move for higher, to be tested at this level. Whether we move with wave D, and it depends, of course, on the structure. If you have a zigzag rather than an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that is the difference to be reanalyzed. Currently, one more leg, move towards the upside. This is Ethereum right now. Cool. All right. BGB, very interesting one. This guy is also a ticking bomb, I would say. Here we go. BGB is a ticking bomb. We're looking for bullish scenario in both case scenarios as well, and that's why I love always to put the most highest opportunities on this channel, and I don't like to waste time, to be honest, with something not really interesting. Yeah, like that it can be very less riskier. That is why, guys, this is what I'm gonna show you right now in BGB. For the people who doesn't know yet about this, it's a great opportunity to introduce you to this one. So as you can see, just by looking at the chart, you can see, of course, how much healthy this chart is. This is the first thing that you would like to see. First scenario, you have, of course, double 1, 2, and then another 1, 2 in WXNY for wave 2. Low possibility a little bit for this 1, 2 here, but still can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish a wave 3, 4 and a 5, 4 and a 5, and then 4 and a 5 again. Very, very high bullish scenario. Very possible, okay? Now, in the second scenario, due to this WXNY, and actually I would like to even remove a little bit the doubt. Let me check. Did we got the 0.38? Oh yeah, we took it. All right, so we took the 0.38, so it doesn't matter if this went in sideways. You have a W, X, and a Y. Your wave Y is sideways, it doesn't matter. But in W and X, you already hit the 0.38. So yeah, definitely it is very eligible. In this case scenario right now, which is bearish, it can be, of course, it can be a bearish scenario where you have a wave B here after a wave A. Let's say this is A, B, C for a wave A here. You're looking at a very sideways wave B, and you're looking, of course, for 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 for a wave C. So even if you are bearish in 3 corrective waves, you're looking still for this wave 5 to be finished. And therefore you start to think about a second structure. But you're looking for this $30, basically. And another scenario is, of course, only one single 1, 2, which is very likely as well, where you have 1, 2, 3, 4 sideways, because I have a little bit problem with sideways to give it for wave 2, but here we go. This is a scenario where it is a wave 4, and you're looking to an extended wave 5. In this case scenario, wave 5 is looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So you're still looking for this $30 from a $4 price. No financial advice, but very nice opportunity. Yeah, so what are we looking at inside it? Inside this scenario, we are looking at the following price action. We have a 3 waves toward the downside, a finished A, B, and a C. You're looking at another 3 waves A, B, C, and potentially even it can be a triangle. And that's why I have the lines for a triangle. However, if you are in a big A, you're looking for wave B. You're looking for a wave C to finish, of course, in kind of a ending diagonal. Or if you are, of course, still in a sideways here, it can be a W, and you're having a sideways triangle for X and one more leg toward the downside. Now, why the price, why the market is doing this? Again, today was this theme, the suffering, the suffering theme again, right? Because it's a very easy chart. I mean, maybe for some is not easy, but for me it's a very easy chart and it's very clear price action. It's not gonna make you money just by simply analyze it, and it's gonna let you wait. You're gonna have to pay something, right? You're gonna have to suffer a little bit to get, of course, all the satisfaction later on. And this is the idea. So basically, I'm still looking, of course, to finish the structure with a low or potentially with sideways and then another low and then moving for higher. Okay. Yep. J. AXSUSDT. Okay. You mean Axis, I think. It's a very old coin, I think. Yeah, sure. We can add it. That was for BGB. Cool. Let's move to virtual. Here we go. Virtual. All right. Here we go. All right. So what we are looking at for virtual, basically in a bigger overview. Okay, doesn't look bad. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, obvious impulse, wave 3 towards the upside. You're looking for a wave 4. You're very close to the 0.5 taken from the bottom to the top. Okay. And okay. All right. Yeah, so we're looking for a wave 5. Everything looks fine so far. Invalidation, of course, is very far. This is a problem. Yeah, that is a problem where you are in a wave 4 after a very massive move towards the upside, and you're looking for a wave 5. The wave 4 went very, very deep because, of course, of the massive extension of this wave 4. And this also bring your invalidation very, very far, which bring the risk to you as a much higher risk. Because what if, of course, it moves impulsively, A, B, and a C, and after all the suffer that you got invalidation. That's very bad, right? But still, that is still an impulse, right? But this drop down is not really nice to see. It is an impulse towards the downside, opening a scenario for A, B, and a C, a zigzag. Plus, if you start to compare the time taken from the wave 2 as alternation to wave 4, that is not a good position. Yeah, if you are impulsive, yeah, because you're still looking for lower, it means how much time it's gonna take based on this wave 2, and that means invalidation almost, because if you pass more than 6 times your wave 2 almost, you can start to say, okay, there is no impulse anymore. It is a 3 waves toward the upside. You're looking for 3 waves down. Invalidation will be taken. And then to think about, again, a move toward the upside as a big A, B, and a C. This is a bigger overview. And this is where you make your decision, by the way, if you want to enter a trade in this coin or not. So basically, on the 1 hour chart, we're still sideways after the trend is towards the downside. Yeah, so you're still looking for potential ending diagonal. Yeah, so this might be your 1, 2 here, by the way. Rather than A, B, and a C, it might be as well. Did you took the low? No. Okay, so it looks like a triangle, but yeah, be careful that it might be as well a triangle, A, B, C, D, E. D and an E, okay? So you might still look for higher, but this is currently 3 ways up potentially, or it can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay. And in this case, you didn't finish an impulse because wave 4, 5. Okay, so another different scenario in this case, okay, because the price action here, it gave me the option of W, X, and a Y. Here we go. That's your savior, right? This is your savior scenario where you have, of course, a W, X, and a Y. You would like to see, of course, 3 wave structure rather than an impulse. Here we go. 3 ways down, correction as an X in a bridge, 3 ways down again. So that is a nice 3 ways toward the downside. Why I got this, why I gave you this right now, because I see an impulse. And this impulse might be, of course, your wave 1, 2, and then you're looking for higher right now, okay? Since you have a zigzag, be careful, it might be a wave B and a C, meaning, of course, a zigzag, and that means, of course, something else might unfold to bring you towards the downside again. Okay, so you have to be careful. However, in all case scenarios right now, in this price action, higher potential or possibility is to move toward the upside, okay? Can be an ABC, or it can be a 1, 2, 3, and a 4, and a 5. Okay, that was for virtual. All right, and then a link. Okay, so let's see the link. In the chain link, what do we have here? Let's take a bigger view. Okay. In a bigger view, of course, we are in an A or a wave 1 towards the upside. We're still in this a big corrective wave potentially, or you finish this corrective wave exactly here. You're looking at a wave B or a wave 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Wave 1, A, B, C, big correction, meaning this wave C should hit the 1.38 in confluence with the 0.786 for a wave 2. Okay, because if you hit lower, if you want to hit the 1.618, this of course puts you in a risk to hit, of course, the 886, and to unfold something else. It can be an ABC, much more corrective, or even to take the low as a big A, B, and a C 1-to-1 fib level. Okay, and basically we're still looking for lower in this scenario unless something inside it is unfolding. Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, and a 5. Oh, we just took the high. How much lucky we are. You just completed an impulse. Yeah, with this high we just completed an impulse. Let me check, guys, on BTC. Just okay. All right, just checking for, because I see this impulse moving higher. I'm just checking if Bitcoin as well. All right, yeah, so basically you can say your wave 5 is unfolding right now, knowing that this is very choppy and I don't like it. So it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 potentially. Okay, let's say it is like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Let's check the rules. Because this is very overlapping, it gives you the potential of a corrective wave. Okay, so if this is my wave 3, wave 4, okay. Invalidation of this scenario is the 1-to-1 fib level at $13.4. I'm gonna explain what does it mean, because very interesting. And in this case scenario, this is your wave 3. Okay, everything fine is fine for wave 3. So basically everything is fine for an ending diagonal for a wave 5. Okay, but if the price action takes the 1-to-1 fib level here, what does it mean? It means invalidation of this diagonal, and that means it might be, of course, a wave 3 moving toward the upside. Yeah, it can be 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, meaning this can be a small leading diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. 1, 2, and then you're looking 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. 1, 2 again, and a wave 3 towards the upside. Here we go. Yes. All right. Yeah, two scenarios. If you take the 1-to-1 fib level, you're moving for a wave 3, and that means, of course, you finished an A, B, and a C, of course, here an A, B, and you're looking for a wave C. Of course, in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 means you are in a big corrective wave. Or if you stay under the 1-to-1 fib level, you are, of course, in a leading diagonal for a wave 5, and that means you finished a wave 1. you're looking for a wave 2, 3, 4, and a 5 toward the upside. If you hit this fib level as well and move down without a wave 3 continuation, means you are corrective. You are in an A, B, and a C towards the downside. I know, very complicated for Link, but very, very tricky price action here. Okay. Okay, let's label this, guys. Let's label this to understand it. I know it might be a little bit tricky. So you have potential A, B, and a C, wide brackets. Here we go. This is the first scenario. You would like to see, of course, a hit for the 1-to-1 fib level moving towards the upside for a wave C. This is the first scenario. Second scenario, if you hit a 1-to-1 fib level here, let's say you overshoot like this and you move down directly, that's not good, guys. That is totally different scenario, which is bearish. A, B, and a C. Expanding flat. And all this overlap is simply very corrective. Okay. Another scenario that the final scenario that you might have here is not reaching the 1-to-1 fib level. Keep everything safe as an ending diagonal for a wave 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. No invalidation taken. Very nice impulse. You're looking for a wave 1. You're looking for a wave 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5. Crazy, right? Yep. So here we go. 1, potentially 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And this might be the round yellow. Okay. So the answers are always, as you know me in this channel, in one price action. Here is where you get your answers. If you stay under it, great, you are in a wave 2. If you move higher, you want to seek for a wave 3, 4, and a 5 to finish a wave C. If you don't get a wave 4 and a 5, your last fib levels for a wave B and an expanding flat. Here we go. Meaning, what does this mean right now? If you want to be safe that you are not in an expanding flat anymore, even if you overshoot, you would like to see the price moving over the 1.38. You would like to see a really good wave 3 like this, and then 4 and a 5. Once you see this, you're safe. You're safe in a wave 3, 4, and a 5. If you see this, that's not safe. That is not safe. Now, of course, it can move continuously towards the upside later. Then, okay, you are safe here. But you would like to see higher prices than those fib levels. Yep. Alfonso, thanks for your analysis, man. You're the most welcome, bro. I hope that it worth it. I'm glad to hear it. Thank you, bro. Happy Easter, Digital Orbi. Could you please look at VeChain, please? Thank you. Yes, you're very welcome. All right, guys, let's move on. That was for Link. Very interesting for Link. Oh, I forgot to put the time. All right, so let's put a 1.36 potentially. Here we go. Very close, guys. You will find it anyway. All right. Next is ARB. So we're gonna move a little bit fast with those guys. Now, of course, we did a lot. I'm gonna move a little bit fast. What was the last one? Who asked me for something? AXS. Okay, already. VeChain. Yes, VET. Here we go. All right. So ARB. ARB USD. Crypto.com potentially is the longest, or the all-time history. Okay, daily is more than enough. That doesn't look like all-time history. ARB Maxi. Oh, it's good to mention Maxi. It is our partner. Right now we have, of course, a special offers from Maxi. Let me show you. We have, of course, the following offers. Of course, only if you use the referral link below. You get, of course, the KGT trading deal here. Yeah, so for every $100 you get $50 USDT. For the 200 you get the half of it. For the 500 you get also the half of it. Pretty cool deal. Of course, always do your decision based on the best option. Here we go. For ARB, we analyzed it before. Let's, okay, it's already marked, by the way. Wave 5. Oh, wow. Okay, so we got a perfect hit, right? Wave 5. We got a perfect hit with wave C here. So potentially you're looking for higher. I'm going to come back, but let me check in a bigger view again. A, B, and a C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Yes. Yep, you finish, of course, towards the downside. You're looking for higher prices in this price action right now. We are, of course, in 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, potentially leading a diagonal, and not an impulse because your wave 4 is interfering with the zone 1. So the only possible scenario is a leading diagonal. And don't forget, a leading diagonal can be 25 to 30% a wave A, B, and a C. Or it can be, of course, as well higher potential as a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Your targets for a wave C, in case you are in a zigzag here, you're looking for the following price for a zigzag, 1-to-1 fib level, and you want to test this price exactly at this level. If you move down impulsively, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 2, and then continue, break the low, higher potential that you finished a zigzag, meaning something else is unfolding rather than being bullish. If you continue for higher, your target is 1.618 for a wave 3, 4, and a 5. Let me explain this in, here we go. Potentially, yeah, 3, 4, and a 5, and this is your red crossroad here. Here we go. You have to check this crossroad. Okay, here we go. All right, that was for ARB, and that was at 1 hour 44. STRK. FARTCOIN. Okay. All right, let's write this if we have also time. I got tired a little bit after the 2 hours almost, but I'm gonna try my best, guys. STRK USD. I hope it's worth it. Let's see. Very sideways, guys. STRK USD maxi. Okay, no. Let's stay with crypto. Here we go. .com. Here we have A, B, and a C, potentially W, X, and a Y. Very sideways. I don't like it. Very sideways. So you're looking here, of course, a W, X, and a Y, or potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But this is a very long wave too. Daniel, thank you, Dig Massage. Okay, what a name, bro. All right, Daniel Starknet strike is something else. Okay, I don't know what you mean exactly, bro. All right, so if we are in 1, 2, it's a very long wave too. Nothing is impulsive in this chart. You still, of course, very sideways. Okay. All right, A, B, C, D, and an E. Potentially here you're looking at very sideways. I don't like it, guys. I don't prefer to not, of course, do this. But yeah, basically this is my vision about it. Okay. Psi. That it sounds always like a samurai, right? Like it gives me always the image of a samurai with the samurai sword. Sai. Wrong coin, bro. Okay, insult. Okay, wrong coin. What is the right one, bro? Can you write it to me, please? And then I would be glad to do it. It's memorable. Indeed, it is. I would remember you so good, bro. All right. With Sai, we have A, B, and a C. We said, of course, we are looking for a wave 5, and potentially that we have a WX and a Y here. STRKnet. Okay, it's called STRKnet. Okay, but what is the abbreviation then? STRK. Okay, I'm gonna write STRKnet. Whatever you write, I'm gonna write there to see if we get it. STRKnet. Okay, with crypto. What has okay? Crypto.com. Here we go. Is this STRKnet? Yes. Okay, it's worse. That is no data, guys. That is just move towards. Is it 3 waves down finished, or you're still looking for an impulse? Nobody knows, because you don't see if you have an A, B, and a C, or if you have an A, B, and a C. It's simply one move towards the downside. Okay, so basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or A, B, and a C. So how can you know, guys? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. I still see downside and untrustable chart. Okay, so be careful, guys. All right, let's go back to side. Be careful from these charts, guys. All right, so inside we're looking potentially for 5 waves toward the downside, but I don't see the 5th waves unfolded yet. Now, if I want to see this waves as 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, you would like to see one more leg, of course, for lower. And that means, of course, you would like to see a diagonal here, right? An ending diagonal. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, it looks very rugged, bro. Very, very rugged. Yeah. It's that's why I don't put it in the trusted coins. Here we go, guys. Just to let you know, on our Discord also we have trusted coin list. Okay. Primary trusted coins are only these ones that you see here. Yeah. Now that is some secondary coins that also it's fine. Okay, it might be safe, which are here. Yeah, including Popcat that you love it, but maybe I mean we saw what happened to this. It can be of course something nobody knows, guys. Yeah, so always be careful. Always it's a meme coin at the end. It's nothing nothing like a project or something. Now TAO of course is gonna transfer to this primary, also H bar potentially, but I would like to see higher prices. I'm waiting for those two to see higher prices and of course a safer chart. But basically TAO is looking good. Yeah, if we see of course this impulse unfolding, that will move directly to primary. Yeah, injective as well. Widget also. If I see this 5 wave unfolds, definitely they will move shift towards the upside here to the primary. Yeah. Yeah. So these are basically the coins that I like the most, guys. And no financial advice, of course, but I prefer to stick with those much more than any other. Yeah. So here we go. So 3, 4, and a 5. We're looking for a wave 5 towards the downside. It starts to be an expanding diagonal here. So basically, this also is an impulse, potentially 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, meaning Psi might start to look for higher unless you take invalidation of bullish. Okay, if you take this price, you have to consider that you're moving for a wave 5. If you continue for higher, and you finish one more wave, meaning you finished 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Okay, and in this case scenario, you're looking for 3 waves up for A, 3 ways down for B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, continuation for higher prices. Yep. All right, guys, I feel a little bit tired after 2 streams yesterday and today. So I think I'm gonna take a break, and I'm gonna apologize from the guys who asked for this. Well, I don't like it normally to just leave you like this. Therefore, I'm just gonna give 1 minute for each one. Look how much. Okay, let's give 1 minute at least for each one of them. So Atom, we have A, B, and a C. Okay, we're looking at a potential finished A, B, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so the scenario for Atom is possibly you have 3 waves down, or an impulse, sorry, finished. You're looking for a zigzag, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Okay, you're still looking potentially here for a wave 4. Meaning you have to be careful. This can be an impulse, which it should be normally, to form a zigzag for a wave 4 and a 5. That was Atom. You're most welcome, Danny. Always. So that was Atom at 1 hour. Okay, I think this was less 50, and right now we are 55. Okay, WLD. Let's see. WLD. Let's see. Crypto. Okay. Okay. Sorry, guys. Especially that I am tired. I don't trust it. Okay. So it is an impulse. 1, 2, 3. Well, not invalidated. So 3 waves down, 3 waves up, 3 waves down. Okay. Potentially you can move toward the upside, but who knows? What if it is an ending diagonal or leading diagonal? Sorry. Okay. So no data. You took the low. I'm afraid to say bullish or bearish. So this is the thing. That was for wild. And then we have AXC. Well, axis if infinity, right? This is axis infinity you mean with it, or something else? Yeah, axis infinity actually. Yeah, this is, I think those are the gaming guys. Let's check on them. Okay. KG, this is a marathon. You have unbelievable stamina. Actually, yes. Yeah, after a while looking at the chart, 2 hours, guys, is very it needs some effort. Thank you, MT. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for your motivations always. You motivate me always, and this is the only reason that I'm still moving on with this channel, to be honest, guys. So thank you all. Okay. Moderator, you can time out him. Yeah. Massage guy, you have to be careful, man. I mean, I like jokes, but not such ones. Okay. Yeah, is complete potentially. Okay, we have here a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, A, B, and a C. So potentially you are in an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. Well, yeah, be careful, guys. You might be in an A, B, and a C, or simply A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 for a wave C. So you have to be careful. And you have an impulse, but if you are looking for 1, 2, this is a very long time for a wave 2. Yeah. So be careful with it. Yeah. Thank you, Daniello. You are the best guys as well. Thank you all, guys. So 1 hour 58. Okay, so VeChain for vet. Right. Okay, so well, Axie Infinity is not really performing, so it's still looking for lower, man. And the wave 2 is too long in time, so You have to be careful. All right. RS Miller, thank you and excellent on your analysis. Thank you, bro. You're very welcome, and welcome to this channel as well. New name. I know all the new names. Maybe of course you watched me before, but you never wrote. But it's your first time, I think. So thank you very much. So 3 waves down, 3 waves up. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 finished. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Potentially A, B, and a C. You're looking at A, B, C. Yeah, okay. But this is also an impulse, meaning wave 1 already there. 1, A, B, C for wave 2. Well, yeah, that is a potential for VeChain. This has to be an impulse, by the way, because you are an A, B, and a C. So perfect. You took the low. So I suggest you're moving towards the upside in a high potential. Here we go. Okay, so you are in 1, 2, 3, A, B, and a C finished expanding flat. For wave 4, no invalidation. Wave 5 is on the road. You're on the way for a wave 5. Now, I know you see a lot of choppy wave, but this might be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, A, B, and a C wave 2. I know, very very creepy price action, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as you can see, leading diagonal, A, B, and a C expanding flat for wave 2, and that's why you see right now a lot of green, because you start potentially your wave 3. No financial advice. Yep, so that was for VeChain at 2 hours, exactly 2 hours. The last one we're gonna end this stream with is the FARTCOIN. Alright, so FARTCOIN, where did I do this? Here we go. Let's mark this. Alright, someone also today on the channel asked me to do this regularly. And I don't know what does he mean. Is it the FARTCOIN analysis or? Alright, so target in VET. Let me check. Digital. I think we didn't hand a target. Yes, yeah, the target is 0.3, 0.28. Yeah, if you are impulsive. Yeah, but basically, of course, you still need a lot of time to get this. Yeah, it's not like directly, but this is the main target. Okay, and of course, the lower time frame target is the following. So by the way, let's keep the things, even if I'm tired, let's keep the things marked. Here we go. Brackets, and you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Yellow, and your target for the wave 5. Here we go, wave 5 over 1. Potentially, you would like to hit this blue box for a wave 1. Meaning, this can be, of course, this 1, 2 here can be 3, 4, and a 5, something like this. Extended, and that because, let's check if I am right or not. I think I am. Wave 3. If we get a short wave 3, aha. Oh man, after years of Elliott waves, this is how you become, even just by looking at it, yeah? 1.27, meaning short wave 3, meaning higher potential for a wave 5 extended. Okay? This is what we are looking. Yeah, Osbert, you told me today. Yeah, sure, I'm gonna do it daily then. That feels you relieved as well. So that was the target for VeChain. Now FARTCOIN, back to FARTCOIN. So we are potentially in a wave 4. We're looking for a wave 5 still. Yo, Marion, my wife, Marion is on the live. And Marion right now is in her village. It's good to see you, Wi-Fi. All right, so currently, let's finish, of course, the stream. You came late, my wife, but yeah, it's good to see you as well. So we have, of course, a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, and we're looking, of course, for this wave 5. And potentially inside this blue box, we're looking at 1-to-1 fib level 0.5, 0.618 for this wave 5. Okay, currently, definitely this is a corrective wave, and that means, of course, definitely there is a wave 4, and we're looking for a wave 5 towards the upside. Okay, so basically, if you finish a wave B here, don't forget that it's not, it doesn't mean that you are very bullish still. Don't forget that you might be in a bigger correction, A, B, and a C, so to be reanalyzed. All right, guys, so that was it for today live stream. Thank you for joining. Thank you for your support and motivations. And of course, see you in the next one. Have a nice eve and of course, a nice trading week tomorrow. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.